everybody? Welcome to the Taco Tuesday episode of Major Money. It's a little bit later today. Was a little bit late getting off work, but we are here to give you what I am playing today. As always, I am no professional bettor, and this is just for fun. Pretty much just showing you what I'm playing and hopefully not losing money on. I've been on this streak where I'm doing terrible on Major Money, but really good on off-stream plays. So maybe that'll continue. Maybe we can flip it around and use some of our luck. And I'm confident we're going to get some wins today, mostly because if you're not familiar, on Tuesdays, PrizePicks offers some discounts right now. As always, when we're doing this, we have the NHL goalie. Some people were saying this was a really good one if you're a last five bettor and know nothing about NHL. Looks a little bit risky to me, but people that like NHL were saying it was a good taco, so I'd take them. I'd take the NHL ones. They've been pretty good recently, and even though I know nothing about it, I just take the value on the discount, and we just live to fight another day. But when you're signing up, if you think those tacos, there's usually 3 of them every week, and then obviously on Fridays we have our Flex Fridays, and they've been dropping other random discounts here and there. If you think those sound good and something you want to be a part of, we have that new member offer. You see it going down at the bottom of your screen on the little banner. Play $5, get $50 instantly. That's if you use the code 5. That's F5VE. Use the code 5 to get $50 instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Now that is in promo funds, so you don't even have to hit it. It's just as soon as you place that first $5 lineup. So without further ado, though, we're going to jump into our 3 plays today, and I'm going to start it out with someone that a lot of our viewers are going to be familiar with. I'm going to go with Jimmy Butler, and I think this actually is a really good play, and I'm surprised it's not more popular. He has been distributing the ball, really all year at a pretty high level, but especially since he joined the Warriors. I'm going over on his 5 assists. You can see he tied it against Dallas 7-4, 7-6. He's routinely at this 5 to 6 number. He's been able to play off Steph really well. Draymond, I think the way they both share the ball, even Steph, all of them are able to just find good shots all throughout. They're playing Charlotte, terrible defensive team. I think this is one Jimmy can pick apart, maybe on the drive and kick out, as well as just Jimmy finds cutters really well. Golden State has several people that can cut. So I think he's just going to continue being that type of, I hate using this term for someone as good as Jimmy Butler, but quote unquote second option for Golden State. Obviously they have Steph, and then they have Draymond, who a lot of stuff runs through, but Jimmy Butler's kind of being an extension of that, doing a little bit of everything. He's having a very well-rounded games ever since going to Golden State, and they have been playing very, very good ball of late. The reason why I think this is only at 5, I think maybe some people are worried about a blowout, so maybe he doesn't play his typical minutes. But even in that blowout scenario, I think Jimmy Butler is going to do that more with the passing than, really to do with his scoring. Though he's been scoring the ball very good. I think his best strength on this team is his versatility in doing a little bit of everything. But I think that 5 assist is his best play tonight. You can see, for example, his points, it's at 20. He's been around 20 every game pretty much, but he's been on the underside a couple times. His rebounds, the standard play, they might not even have a standard play of rebounds. Yep, so it just goes straight from Goblins to Demons. You can see 9, 9, 8, 3, 3. That also kind of quickly talks about his well-roundedness in his games. Here's his points, rebounds, assists, pretty consistent in those 30s. Past 2 were a little bit lower, but I expect him in his most one I trust right now is over 5 assists. Now, the next play I'm going to go with points, and it's one of my favorite when me and Matt were talking in our podcast talking about this Sioux Falls Skyforce. It is a guy that I wanted them to get, Jamal Shed. This guy, he's not going to light up the scoring column. You can see 14, 6, 2, 9, 6. He's a dog defensively. He does a lot of the dirty work, but he's been pretty consistently at this 5 number, if not over. And they played Boston twice. He played about 18 minutes, I believe, off the top of my head, both times. He had 10 shots in one game, went 2 of 10, still scored the 5 points. The other game, I believe he had like 7 points or so in 18 minutes. He went over, I know. It was about the 6-7 mark or so. So it is something I expect him to be around. Now, if this is a blowout, he could potentially get more minutes in that scenario, depending on how the game is. But I think he's just a dog, man. I love players like this that are dogs defensively, not scared of anything. He's going to take this. He wants to show out. I like this over 5 points, even against Boston. I mean, someone's got to score some. And I think Jamal Shed is that type of guy that is going to try to at least get his shots up. We saw, like I said, he took 10 shots in their first game, didn't shoot the ball well, but kept shooting. That's a good sign for me. I like this play. I think he's just keep doing what you're doing type thing. And I think this is a good one. I think Jamal Shed is going to earn more and more fans the more and more he plays and the longer his career goes. I am already one of those. Now, and if you know anything about me, we're going to jump into our third play. I think the combos are a lot of fun. And I think sometimes you can find very, very good value in these. And I think there's one on the assist prop today that is good value. I think Jason Tatum and Scotty Barnes, 11.5 assists. Jason Tatum can hit this himself. Jason Tatum, me and Sean were talking about this. I'm not the biggest Jason Tatum fan in the world, but I understand how good he is. I like Jaylen Brown. I'm not saying he's better than Jason Tatum, but if I were to choose one player for my team, I might choose Jaylen Brown. That's not anything to do with last year's playoffs. For whatever reason, I've just liked him, always liked him for several years. Jason Tatum, though, is a very good player. And a lot of people in Miami, and a lot of people from our network, and even all around the U.S. and the world, kind of discredit how good Jason Tatum is. My thing with him, and it doesn't play into this prop, that's what I'm saying, is I think he sometimes settles for too many threes. If he just attacked the basket a little bit more and more consistently, I would not have any problem with. He's a very good defender. He's a very good passer, very underrated passer, and that goes into this prop. 11.5 assists. He could hit this himself. He's consistently getting 9 assists, 10 assists. It's not what he's averaging, but he's consistently around that. He's very consistent in what he does, like all the Boston players are. They're just a well-oiled machine. Scotty can also get those 7, 8, 9 assist games. Recently, he's been around the 4 number, 4 or 5 or so. Jason Tatum's been doing a little bit better in the statistic department. Scotty's typically having to do some more scoring, but I think both of these players are underrated passers is what I'm getting at. So 11.5 assists, basically looking at their track records. Kind of what I was saying about Jamal, though. I think the reason this is a little lower than what it should and typically be is if it is a massive blowout, maybe like Tatum and Scotty don't play a whole quarter type thing. Now, I'm kind of taking a bet that even if that does happen, if the Boston's scoring a lot, Tatum is kind of that guy that helps facilitate, gets it all going. Even if he's getting scoring and he's putting in the points, he's also racking up enough assists to counteract with Scotty. And the Raptors are just a bad team, so I'm not super, super worried about Scotty not getting enough minutes. It would be maybe if he tweaks something again, similar to what he did in Miami. But I really like this prop. I think this is very, very good value at the 11.5 assists. So that's going to be my third pick today. You got 5 assists for Jimmy Butler, 5 points for Jamal, and then over 11.5 assists for Tatum and Scotty Barnes. And just sometimes I think you can find very, very good value on rebounding props. I found some of my best value on here. Not one that typically screams at me right now, but just when you're looking for those, I think that's like sometimes you look for props that people aren't playing as much. They're never popular. They're never on the most popular and most played. So you can see none of them are ever combos. So sometimes I think you can find good value on them because, people aren't seeing them as much. And sometimes That is true with, I mean, like if you soccer, there's some good ones. College basketball, even if you live in a state that uses it, not every state can use it. And you have esports. Some people are able to find really good value on esports because once again, they're not as popular. And so sometimes some lines out there don't quite make as much sense if you are an expert in those fields. And I am certainly not one of those. But these are the 3 picks I'm playing. If you like these, you want to combine them with the taco. For example, this, if I just played these 3 plays, power play 5x. If I add in a taco, which is basically a discount, similar to like a goblin, but it's at a full square, 10x. So I gain 5x, double the payout by adding in a discount. Look out for the next one. And they typically have like Twitter polls going out for where the highest one gets the taco. They choose one for Discord as well. So you can impact this if you go to PrizePicks Twitter account. I know one of them was a LeBron James taco. So if he wins the vote, we get a LeBron James discount as well. But if you like all these, if you like these plays and you're not signed up for PrizePicks, use that code 5 that you see going down at the bottom of your screen. I will tweet out my picks right after this, and it will include a link to where you don't even have to do anything. So that's the code 5. Get $50 instantly once you play $5. And last but not least, I'll go over my picks again. We got the combo Tatum and Scotty over 11.5 assists, Jamal 5 points, Jimmy Butler 5 assists. I really, really like these plays today, but I will see y'all at least on Friday, maybe even on Thursday. I'll see y'all one of those 2 at minimum. And we'll steal some money from PrizePicks as always. Let's enjoy a good night of sports, and I will see y'all next time.